Hello and welcome. If you want to learn how to stay healthy, both mentally and physically, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. It tells YouTube that you enjoy the content and helps our community grow. There is a silent, creeping danger that threatens to shorten your lifespan significantly if you choose to ignore it. Many people believe they can simply power through the later years of life without adjusting their habits, acting as if their bodies are invincible machines that never need maintenance. But the brutal reality is that those who refuse to acknowledge the shifting tides of their own biology often find themselves spiraling into frailty, illness, and isolation years before their time. If you turn a blind eye to the subtle warning signs we're about to discuss, you risk losing not just your health, but your very independence, leaving you vulnerable and reliant on others when you could have been strong. We are going to have a very honest, open conversation about the 12 specific, often unspoken challenges that come with aging and exactly how you can navigate them to stay vibrant. This is not just a list of complaints, it is a survival guide based on the real experiences of people just like you, focusing on the mental, physical, and emotional hurdles that can catch you off guard. We will look at the story of a woman named Eleanor, whose journey mirrors the silent struggles many seniors face every single day. Please make sure you stay with me until the very final seconds of this lecture because I have saved a truly fascinating, scientifically proven fact about the aging brain that will completely change how you view your potential for growth in your golden years. Let's begin by looking at the mind, specifically those embarrassing moments that seem to happen out of nowhere. Eleanor, a vibrant 67-year-old, recently found herself standing in the frozen food aisle of her local grocery store, staring into the face of a neighbor she had known for over a decade. Her heart began to race because for the life of her, she absolutely could not remember the woman's name. It is a flush of heat and shame that makes you feel like you're losing your touch or perhaps even losing your mind. But you must understand that this is not a sign of failure. It is a common symptom of a brain that has accumulated a lifetime of data. The filing cabinet is simply full. The solution is not to panic, but to build a new system. You need to start writing things down immediately, perhaps keeping notes on your phone about the people you meet, jotting down their names and one specific detail about them, like neighbor with the golden retriever. It is about being proactive rather than perfect. If you forget, ask again with a smile. It shows you care enough to want to get it right, rather than pretending you know. Just as the mind can feel a bit slower, the body often hits a wall of sudden, inexplicable exhaustion. You might find yourself doing the same simple tasks you've done for 40 years, like making a sandwich or dusting the living room, only to feel as though you've just run a marathon. This fatigue can be incredibly frustrating, leaving you feeling defeated before the afternoon has even begun. The trick here is to stop fighting your body and start working with it. Think of your energy like a bank account. You cannot withdraw everything in the morning and expect to have funds left for the evening. You must pace yourself, breaking your chores into small, manageable chunks spread throughout the day. Listen to the signals your body is sending you. If you need to sit down, sit down. Hydration is also a secret weapon here, as dehydration often masquerades as fatigue, so drink water even when you're not thirsty. Alongside this fatigue, you might notice a very unwelcome change in your reflection. Eleanor has always been active, yet she noticed the numbers on the scale creeping up despite her lifestyle remaining exactly the same. This is one of the most stubborn realities of aging. Your metabolism naturally slows down, acting like an engine that burns fuel more slowly than it used to. This means that even if you eat the same amount you did in your 40s, you might gain weight in your 60s. To combat this, you have to shift your focus from quantity to quality. Your body now requires fewer calories but more nutrients. You need to prioritize nutrient-dense foods like colorful vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, while cutting back on the empty calories found in processed sugars. Movement is non-negotiable here. You do not need to become a bodybuilder, but you must engage in daily brisk walking or light strength training to keep your muscle mass alive, as muscle is the furnace that burns calories even when you are resting. Now, before we continue to the next set of challenges, I want to pause for a second. If you are recognizing yourself in Eleanor's story, or if you have felt that frustration of a name slipping your mind, or that sudden wave of tiredness, I want you to take a moment to support this channel. Please hit that subscribe button and click the like button right now. It helps us reach more people who are navigating these same waters, ensuring no one has to feel alone in this journey. Thank you for doing that. It really makes a difference. Moving on, you may have noticed that your social calendar, which used to be filled with dinner parties or work events, is now increasingly filled with doctor appointments. It can feel as though your entire life revolves around the waiting room, with blood tests, checkups, and screenings consuming your week. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and view this as a sign of decline. However, I want you to flip that perspective on its head. These frequent visits are not a sign of weakness, they are the ultimate act of self-respect. They are your maintenance schedule. Just as you wouldn't drive a vintage car without checking the oil, you cannot navigate your later years without monitoring your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar. To stop this from feeling like a chaotic burden, create a dedicated health calendar. Write everything down, or even keep a medical journal where you track your questions and symptoms. When you organize the chaos, you take back control, and the doctor becomes your partner rather than your boss. Another mental hurdle that often surprises people is a difficulty in concentration. Eleanor used to devour novels in a single weekend, losing herself in the stories. Recently, however, she finds herself reading the same paragraph 3 times, her mind drifting away after only a few minutes. It feels like the focus lens of a camera that just won't sharpen. This is common, but it is not irreversible. You have to treat your brain like a muscle that needs a different kind of workout. Engage in puzzles, word games, or learn a new skill like a musical instrument or a language. These activities force your brain to forge new neural pathways. If reading a whole book feels daunting, break it down. Read for 15 minutes, then take a break. It's about consistency, not duration. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching challenge of all is the quiet that begins to fill the house. As time marches on, friends move away to be closer to their grandchildren, or sadly they pass on. The circle shrinks. Eleanor misses the casual coffee dates and the walking groups that used to fill her days effortlessly. Loneliness is a serious health risk, comparable to smoking in its impact on your well-being. But you cannot wait for the phone to ring. You must be the one to pick it up. You have to aggressively seek out new connections. Look for local senior groups, book clubs, or gardening societies. If mobility is an issue, the digital world offers a lifeline. Online communities and social media groups can bridge the gap, allowing you to chat with people who share your interests from the comfort of your living room. Small interactions, even just a chat with a librarian or a cashier, act as vitamins for your emotional health. Speaking of mobility, the physical act of moving through the world often changes. Simple things that you never thought twice about, like bending down to tie a shoelace or walking around the block, can suddenly feel like climbing a mountain. Stiffness settles into the joints, and the body feels less like a fluid machine and more like a rusty hinge. It is discouraging, but the worst thing you can do is stop moving. Motion is lotion is the phrase you need to remember. You must incorporate gentle stretching and low-impact exercises like yoga or water aerobics into your daily routine. These activities keep the joints lubricated and the muscles capable of supporting your balance. It's not about running fast, it's about remaining capable of putting on your own shoes. Then there's the issue of the night. Eleanor loves her sleep, but lately it has become elusive. She falls asleep easily enough, but at 3 a.m., her eyes snap open and she's left staring at the ceiling, her mind racing while the rest of the world is silent. This fragmented sleep leaves her exhausted the next day. As we age, our sleep architecture changes and we become more sensitive to noise, light, and internal discomfort. To fight this, you need a rigid routine. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day to train your internal clock. Cut off caffeine early in the afternoon as it lingers in your system far longer than you think. Create a sanctuary in your bedroom, cool, dark, and quiet. If your mind is racing, try deep breathing or meditation to signal to your nervous system that it's safe to drift off again. Your connection to the physical world can also feel like it is fading as your senses dull. Eleanor prides herself on being sharp, but she now needs glasses to read the menu and finds herself nodding along in conversations at noisy restaurants because she can't quite distinguish the words over the background clatter. It can make you feel isolated, as if you're watching life through a smudged window. Don't let vanity stop you from getting the help you need. Regular eye and hearing exams are crucial. There's absolutely no shame in wearing hearing aids or using corrective lenses. They're tools that reconnect you to the laughter of your family and the beauty of your surroundings. Ignoring sensory loss is a fast track to isolation, so embrace the technology that keeps you in the game. You might also find that your internal thermostat is broken. One minute you're freezing while everyone else is comfortable, and the next you're overheating. This increased sensitivity to heat and cold is a result of your circulation and metabolism changing. The solution is simple but essential. Layers. Dress in a way that allows you to adapt instantly. Keep a sweater handy even in summer and use moisture-wicking fabrics. Adjust your home environment with fans or heating pads. Comfort is not a luxury, it's necessary for your body to function correctly without stress. Emotionally, you might surprise yourself with a shorter fuse. Eleanor noticed she was snapping at delivery drivers or getting irrationally angry over minor inconveniences. This grumpiness is often just a manifestation of frustration, hormonal shifts, or chronic pain. It's not who you are, it's a symptom. When you feel that heat rising in your chest, pause. Practice deep breathing to cool down your nervous system. Mindfulness and gratitude are powerful antidotes here. By actively listing 3 things you are grateful for each day, you retrain your brain to scan for the positive rather than fixating on the irritants. Finally, we come to the hardest pill to swallow, the loss of independence. Eleanor has always been the one who took care of everyone else, the strong matriarch. Now, finding herself needing help with heavy grocery bags or household repairs feels like a defeat. She dreads asking for assistance. But you must reframe this. Accepting help is not giving up, it is strategic delegation. It allows you to conserve your precious energy for the things that actually bring you joy. It takes immense courage to say, "I need a hand," and doing so actually protects your independence by preventing injury and burnout. Now, as we reach the end of this journey, I promised you a fascinating fact. Did you know that despite all the talk of decline, your brain is actually capable of growing new brain cells and forming new neural connections until the very day you die? It is a process called neuroplasticity. For decades, scientists thought the brain stopped developing in childhood, but we now know that every time you learn a new fact, try a new hobby, or navigate a new route, you are physically remodeling your brain structure. This means that in many ways, you have the potential to be wiser and more cognitively complex now than you ever were in your youth. Aging is not just a fading away, it is a transformation. Embrace it, take care of yourself, and keep growing.